My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Monster Train 2. We're again in the Dimensional Portal for the Stop Hitting Yourself challenge. Your monsters can't help themselves. They love to hit spiked enemies. It's on Covenant Rank 1, the primary clan is Baron Grail-led Lazarus Leagues, that's the Exile lead, and then the default Banished with Fell. Granted, we don't get Fell, we just get the Just Causes. Also got the Proto Heart Cage, so again, no ability. Ho-hum. And we've got the mutators as follows. Strike hard, all units, so enemies and allies, get multi-strike 1. Pain Train, enemy units enter with spikes 1. So we're going to have to find a way to consistently heal or shield or armor or something all of our units. And Rising Retribution, enemy units gain 3 spikes when they move. So not only do I not want to shift my enemy units because it'll just give them spikes, I'm also going to want to try and avoid letting them go up floors because that counts as them moving. So they'll enter with 1. On floor 2, they have 4 spikes. So realistically, if I'm using multi-strike, I should be using it on the bottom line. Anyway, I'm doing way too much planning for the opening screen here. Let's actually click the buttons. Set of Eternus. Chosen of Dominion. Zeraphili's Corruption 2 and Doubles Corruption, sure. Archeon's pushing people back. Kel is giving Vampirism. We've got 2 copies of It's Alive, 1 Ember to advance a unit. Apply Lifesteal 1 and 10 damage to it. That's going to help heal units. Granted, there are units that we will want to give Lifesteal to who we don't want to advance, so this isn't going to be great for everyone. This is a little bit annoying. Challenge. 1 Ember, advance, Sublime Melee Weakness 1. So this is good for revealing enemy units, but unfortunately, in revealing the enemy unit, I will also be giving them spikes. And then we've got Makeshift Golem. 1 Ember, 2 Size, Armor 12, Extinguish. Apply Armor 12 to friendly units. So if I can get you to consistently tank damage and trigger your own Extinguish, and then reanimate as well, because we do have the Lazarus League, you would be a really good way to give armor to the backline. Yeah, like all of our erratic assistants with only 1 damage, 1 health, they are going to die as soon as they strike an enemy. Let's have a look at the Baron Grail upline. It hungers. The ability is Devour. Cooldown 1 to sacrifice an assistant and gain their damage. I mean, you have multi-strike. That's a sick line for you. There's also Living Armory. Multi-strike 1, equipped, apply +8 damage to friendly units. Now, apply +8. So that's every time I equip units, every time I equip equipment to you. I do like the idea of just being able to eat a unit every turn. And the unit doesn't even have to give me equipment. Like, I can just resummon like an endless erratic assistant and then just eat it every single turn to get 9 damage on Baron Grail, which is pretty good. I'm gonna go with that. Because you do want multi-strike, but I'm not gonna want too many units on the bottom line. If I can just support Baron Grail down there, knocking people dead. Ooh, on deployment phase, add a random graft unit to your hand. Oh, hang on. This does not say 0 cost. That makes it significantly worse. I'm going to take Odie's Totem instead then. 1 Ember per turn, -3 to deployment Ember. Mind Muddler is stopping me from drawing 5 cards a turn, but I'll be okay with that. Hell yeah, got the Erratic Assistant for the bottom line, and then I eat the Erratic Assistant, gaining a bunch of damage. Let's just cause the monstrosity a bunch of times in order to gain additional shield turn over turn for you. Perfect. Time to devour another. Well done. Oh, just short of being able to kill the Fallen Champion by itself with the makeshift golem here. Realistically, you should have one of these scissors at some point. Baron Grail, eat a unit for more health. More health, more damage. I'm just tripping over every word today, each and every one of them. I don't need to give melee weakness to anyone at the moment, unfortunately. Oh, now you're here. Now I want to give melee weakness to you. I mean, we've already got the win, thankfully. We've got this lifesteal for the bottom line. This lifesteal, this It's Alive, is going to be a really good way to support Baron Grail. The main problem is Baron Grail only has 25 max HP. So I'm going to need to find a way to support that as well. Increase it, ideally. But that's kind of hard to do when you're the champion of the clan. All right. That went really well. Oh, twisted assisted. 1 Ember, 1 Size, multi-strike 1, an assistant unit, so it can be sacrificed for 15 damage on Baron Grail, and it has the graft Twisted Back. 1 Ember equipment, which gives a unit trample, and on strike gain rage 2. Incredible when you have multi-striking units, especially multi-striking units with scaling damage. That'll be really good for Baron. Forevermore Serum, realistically, I do want to make sure that I get a copy of Reanimation in my deck somewhere. Is this how I get it? I don't think so. Surgical Strike, 1 Ember, Piercing, deals 4 damage on Slay, add a copy of this card with Ephemeral to hand. I don't dislike that, but I have enough ways to kill my own assistants at the moment. Let's get more assistants to kill. Penitent's Death Suit. On shift, gain melee weakness 1, so I can just give this to a flying boss. That's probably the best use for it. Selfless Sacrifice and Damage Shield. And Divinity. I'm just going to take a copy of Divinity, because Divinity is always just nice to have. Second area is Merchant of Magic, so I'm supposed to go Merchant of Steel here? How do I feel about that? Pretty good, actually. There's a lot of Merchant of Steel upgrades that I want on even Erratic Assistants, because I don't need the additional Scissor Hands from them. I just need a unit every time to turn to Sacrifice for Baron Grail. So making those endless, because they're 0 cost, great. Speaking of. Just got offered another multi-strike as well. Is 6 extra damage worth 1 mana every turn? In a world where I already have Odie's Totem? Maybe. In which case I would also then give you damage. Actually, this is sick. Then 20 additional health. I could throw this on the makeshift golem. I don't need to, but I will at the moment. I'm gonna hold off. There is a multi-strike, but it just doesn't want to go on anyone. Well, hang on. I literally haven't looked at my banished unit yet. Oops. Yeah, it absolutely should have gone on this one. I think I set up a second floor using a Battle Dancer. Literally just this Battle Dancer being able to shift backwards and forwards. Has multi-strike. Eventually it'll get to the front. It'll have a bunch of armor. It'll multi-strike for a bunch of damage. It'll support its own health already. Yeah. It's Battle Dancer, and then give Battle Dancer multi-strike. This is working out quite well. -1 energy per turn. That's going to be annoying in our setup phase, but thankfully after that, Odie's Totem is going to make it completely fine for us. So yeah, I don't get to set up any other units, unfortunately. So if I challenge you, and then it's alive here. 44. Yeah, I can kill all of them. So challenge, and then it's alive, and then I'll propagate my damage through all of the enemies. And you would... Actually, I don't need to use the challenge to do that as well. If I just use it's alive and then sack the assistant and give the scissor hands over, we have the same effect. I can save a little damage on Baron Grail if I do it with a challenge now. We'll set up a spear steward on the second line so that we have someone to... Wait, you're hasting, aren't you? And you're enchanting units with haste, so I should put up that final unit on the top line. But other than that, this turn is solved. Solved! Get him! Got it. Eat one of the assistants. Then one of the assistants got to go on this floor. And then another assistant on the bottom floor. You can have a scissor hands up on the top. That's a lot of damage these scissor hands give when you've got multi-strike on every unit. Thank you for our brief respite. Eat him. Summon. I'm gonna get my Twisted Assistant for the very first time next turn. Oof. You just need to survive the first volley from enemies, and then you get to respond with lifesteal. So I'll give you additional Valor for additional armor. It's not gonna be a now visit. That did a lot less than I thought it was going to. Let's have a look at this turn again. So Legion is doing 10 damage, has 4 spikes on, and the Savage Spearman in the backline is just not even being touched. Baron Grail can only sack an assistant that's already on the field this turn, unfortunately. I could easily see that the best play here could be just as many inversions as I can make on the top line, just setting up for when you get up there. I also think killing that Savage Spearman makes a lot of sense. It doesn't even cost me any damage on the Legion here. We'll just cause you, and then it's alive. And Twist Assistant gets to do 29 damage on this floor, and then sets up for better equipment for the top line. And how can I beat you? That doesn't get you all the way there. Equipment won't. That will still end up with us taking 14 damage. Obviously, the trample's not necessarily going to help here. Guess I could try and chump block for the Battle Dancer. That gets all but 6 health off of him. Oh, that trample isn't even enough. So I take 14 damage. Alas. Second Twisted Assistant? I don't think so. Explosive reaction to Ember, apply unstable 25 and deal 5 damage to a single unit. Motion get brew. I mainly care about brewing as a way to get reanimate, but it's a very inconsistent way to get reanimate, so I don't know if that's really a good idea to be planning around. I think I should take money on this one, or a Twisted Assistant, if I really just want to have a second one in the deck so that I'm much more likely to have it early for Baron Grail, which actually I do think is important, because it gives trample, so it's a lot of range. Upbeat Warbler. Interesting. I mean, the Upbeat Warbler will die quite quickly is a problem about the Upbeat Warbler. Unless its line is killing the enemies, the Upbeat Warbler just puffs out of existence pretty quickly. However, it's pretty good up on the top with the Battle Dancer line. I think I can take a copy. Ooh, consume removal, -1 cost, -1 cost intrinsic. God, I wish I had some more interesting spells. Sword Maiden, 1 Ember, 2 Size, multi-strike 1, summon. Draw a equipment card from your deck. Artificer. Equipment is attached to any ally of this unit, then it gains Valor 8. And then Firebrand, Revenge, gain Valor 2. So Revenge would trigger. If I hit the enemy and they have spikes, the Revenge stack will trigger as well. So this is a good way to gain Valor, but it's a very expensive unit. And I don't have much Deployment Ember, by which I mean I don't have Deployment Ember. I could take this, and then I would be having a top line and bottom line strategy, basically. And the top line would just be trying to get so much Valor that it has so much armor that it doesn't care. And then the bottom line would be trying to kill units before they get enough block for it to matter. Fine, I'll do it. It sounds quite reasonable. Enough spikes for it to matter, rather. Oh dear. Oh dear. So this is reanimate for a unit. I love the idea of giving the reanimate to makeshift goal. Oh right, they don't all need to go on the same unit. I forget that constantly here. No, it's not a total misplaced stoat. Was that a 101? No, it's 100. So it wants me to go right, left, left. Right? Merchant of Trinkets after Archeon. Pretty low likelihood with the Empyrean Well and Merchant of Steel on the other side. And then it wants me to go Merchant of Magic with Celestial Alcove at Herzel's Horde. I can certainly see that. And then the other one. Okay, the other two I would go in the direction it's asking me to. It's just I don't want to go Merchant of Trinkets, Merchant of Magic, Merchant of Trinkets. I think I need another Merchant of Steel sooner than that. I'm going to -1 cost an Intrinsic Divinity, and then I'm also going to -1 cost Divinity. I don't think I do remove anything from this deck. I'm not entirely certain what relic I go for here, though. I'm leaning a little towards energy, but I hope I don't have to do that. Okay. Makeshift Golem, Baron Grail, Battle Dance, I'll chump block for you or whatever I need to do to keep you alive. Or if you just die anyway, alright. Wow, that Archeon's doing a lot of damage. Why are you doing so much damage, buddy? 13 by 2. Twice. First and foremost, let's set up this bottom line. Then, big old divinity and space you over the midline because it can. Oh my god, it pushed back 2 units and gave 6 stacks of Valor. Oh, I didn't even think about that. It killed the units immediately, but it did push them back. Battle Dancer is so thankful. Right, yes, because you would have no damage if I didn't... If I didn't give you an upgrade. I'll eat you. I don't want the Scissor Hands in my deck. Yeah, I'll just let it do damage to the enemy. Oh, right, this is so annoying because it has multi-strike. All units gain multi-strike. It's not all non-boss enemy units. Got it. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Pretty punishing at the moment. Thankfully, this guy reforms and gives armor to every unit. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Let's drop a Erratic Assistant up here. Then I'm going to move one of them ahead of me. And then 2 of them will be killed, pushing them back. Even more Valor for the Battle Dancer. You just get a bunch of dancers out of it. Baron Grail is doing so much damage. Good to see it. I do need to somehow find a way to keep you alive. That's not really our domain as of yet. I think we can still spare another Twisted Assistant for 14 more damage on the bottom line at that point. That's our final reanimate. Baron Grail's doing a lot of damage though, so yeah. We'll be fine. In fact, let's enhance that damage a little bit. Get him, Grail. Thump. Yeah, very important. Scrap for parts. 1 Ember consumes Sacrifice, draw a unit, and apply plus 40 damage and 0 Ember cost to it. Unfortunately, with a bunch of Erratic Assistants in the decks, most of the time it's going to draw a unit like that. However, if it does, Baron Grail can still eat that unit, so I can still get a lot of value out of it. Obviously, worst case scenario, it draws Shield Stewards or, God forbid, a bit Wobbler. Spike of the League, X-Cost, consume, apply 1x reanimate. That's what I'm going to take. And then Combustion Suit, 1 Ember, 10 health, 10 damage. On strike, apply unstable 5 20 units. Very good piece of equipment, especially with multi-strike, but I'm definitely taking Spike of the League. Hulking Mass. 2 Ember, 3 Size, Armor 40, Multi-Strike 1, Reanimated. So triggers when it is reanimated, gain Armor 40. And there's also a Steadfast Crusader in a... Oh, Test Subject Alpha. I really like Test Subject Alpha. Am I doing a 3-floor strategy? And I'm like... Maybe? Maybe I am. No, oh, right. No, this guy's just going to absolutely shred himself up on spikes. I'm doing a 2-floor strategy. I'm taking money there. Thank you very much. The Ember doesn't seem relevant after the first turn is the thing. And I can just set up a little slower. There's also the possibility of deciding that the bottom line should also hold the Battle Dancer. I don't like that so much because the Battle Dancer's really going to want to go to the front line from time to time. To gain the shield in Valor, which is going to be a really, really tough time for you. So I don't think it's capacity either. I do think there's a really good argument to make for draw, but I think that's always true. Do I do the Merchant of Trinkets just so I can get the other two? Because Worthy Sacrifice is really good. The Worthy Sacrifice upgrade would allow me to just drop an Erratic Assistant and then destroy it immediately, just giving me the equipment as well as the Ember. Especially good for a Twisted Assistant. It would pay for the Twisted Assistant and the Grafts. Pay for both of those costs. And then we also would have, when you summon a unit, get another unit to hand with additional cost. Honestly, I would do that to get more makeshift golems cycling through the deck. Draw out a 2-cost makeshift golem after a cycle, put that on the bottom line as well. Be more than happy to do that. It's just I have to give up Merchant of Steel, and then my next Merchant of Steel is... Oh, actually, the final 2 areas... Oh, this is quite compelling. Both of the final areas contain a Merchant of Steel, and they're quite likely to be Merchants of Steel I want to go to. Alright, in pursuit of 2 unit upgrades that I could have gotten at this Merchant of Steel, but I will instead get from the Inscryption event, I'm going to go to the right side. It hungers too. Ability. Devour 2. Devour 2. Oh, gain twice their damage. Sick. And Learning Limb. Artificer. The attached equipment gains +2 damage permanently. Meh. Clan cards only offer their res. Cool. Screen piercing damage whenever an enemy unit moves between floors. I do like having that. It saves so much health from units that just fall apart with that. Start a turn, friendly units gain Valor 2 if they were at the front of the room. I also quite like that. Gives additional tank ability to the units that most need it. I feel like Jackstrips is more likely to save me. Could grab an unnamed tome for Mute 5 to enemy units. Mute 5 to enemy units could actually be pretty important. That's a way to avoid a lot of Chaos effects. That's a way to avoid a lot of Seraph's effects. The Mute does not remove their multi-strike. Tome of Contracts, reduce a cooldown timer to 1. I mean, unfortunately it's to a minimum of 1, so I can't get Baron Grail to just devour infinite times. Lazarus League, love it. 3 Ember, consume. Apply Unstable 50, so when the unit dies, they deal 50 damage to all enemy units, and reanimate 1. That's exactly the kind of thing that I want to play on Makeshift Golem. Again, the setup will be a little worse here, but it's okay. Most of these units will take 3 piercing damage this, and I could... You know what? I'm gonna set up on line 2. These vicious axe throwers have to die before they come up to the second line. Granted, the Ravenous Zealot is going to have 4 spikes by the time it gets up here, so maybe this is a really bad idea. Do I want to take 14 more damage on my front line each turn, or do I want to take 3 more damage every time I hit a Ravenous Zealot? I'll be frank, I don't know what the correct answer there is. I'm gonna give this one a whirl. I think Divinity on Makeshift Golem makes a lot of sense to give it some survivability. Battle Dancer can gain Valor in other ways. Speaking of, I could literally just throw a Erratic Assistant up there and then push it ahead. And I will. Oh boy. So here, Twisted Assistant, and then I eat you, gaining, what was that? 58 stats? 58 damage, rather? Give that Twisted back to you, and that's gonna be pretty good at killing all the enemies. If I throw down Upbeat Warbler in the back line, then the Baron Grail is capable of just killing all of these enemies. The only problem being then that Baron Grail can't eat any more units. And I would prefer them to keep eating. I also like Upbeat Warbler for the top line. Annoyingly, that collector is basically impossible for me to do anything about. Like what? I could just go to the front of the line and then throw... You know what? Let's try this. Just goes to the front of the line and then Firebrand. No, Firebrand even dies before it can strike it. Firebrand with a blocker. No, can't do it. Damn. 75 gold I'll never get. I have an endless supply of assistance already, so I will use this to chump block. It's because the Sharp-Eyed Snipers and the Vicious Axe Throwers are both 3 health that I think setting up on the next floor just makes so much more sense. I'm going to take this opportunity to play the Tome of Horrors. Oh wait, that'll cause you to die at the end of each of the next couple of turns, which I don't need you to do just yet. Okay, I'm not going to play it then. I forgot that it also causes the unit to die if their HP is low enough. I forgot that it actually triggers that. Oops. Throw a couple of units down, recognizing that they are going to die, but actively encouraging it so I don't draw them in the next cycle of the deck. One more reanimate for our frontliner is more than enough, I think. Now I'll drop the Tome of Horrors on you for the first time. Perfect. It's alive. So at the end of every turn, it explodes, dealing a bunch of damage and dealing a bunch of shield to my units and damage to the enemies at the same time. That's fun. Faulty Body, 1 Ember, Consume, Apply Fragile, and Spikes 40 to a unit. I mean, that's not bad for Makeshift Golem a lot of the time, actually. It's also Buffer Flesh. It's an assistant, but it has no damage, so Baron Grail won't want to sacrifice it. However, its equipment is Spiky Skin. 1 Ember equipment gives 10 health, and on Revenge, gains Spikes 3. Which should also be pretty good for Makeshift Golem. I think having spikes makes so much sense because all the enemies have multi-strike, so it's one of these two that I want to take. I think Faulty Body is fine because I've got Reanimate, right? So realistically, I want to be using that. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I think it's a good way to give him a lot of power early. Liquid Courage, 1 Ember, Blind Damage Shield 1 and Valor 4 to a unit. Just a lot of additional health for a unit. I mean, that's a great way to give some additional assistance to a Makeshift Golem while it's still setting up. Spikes of the Banished, X Valor, also pretty good, but with Odie's Totem, I do have 4X by default, so that's still really good. As well as a very, very good upgrade at Merchants of Magic. So I went right, now it's got to be left, Merchant of Magic in the next area, I could totally see that now. Lead Songbird, Valor adds an additional damage per stack. Realistically, Valor is not outscaling damage. The Battle Dancer line is kind of a bit of a gimmick at the moment. Especially just compared to the raw output of damage from Baron Grail. So I'll take, I feel like Liquid Courage is actually much more useful. Like, our problem is that initial setup. Holdover. Wait a minute. Also, -1 cost and intrinsic. -1 cost and intrinsic is great for the Faulty Body. It's also really good for Liquid Courage, actually. I don't want holdover on any of these spells. Yes, It's Alive is nice, but no. Spell Chain, Consume Removal. Okay, Consume Removal's interesting because I could get a Spike of the League just cycling through the deck consistently and then just give it a little bit more juice, which is to say an Emberstone. There's also Spell Chain. Spell Chain for Faulty Body is just 40 more spikes on my frontline unit. So 80 spikes at the start of battle. Oh, that's mean. That's mean. That's mean. That's evil. That's cruel. You're not allowed to do that. Because it'll keep the spikes as it gets reformed. The only problem is, if I have this, you know what I need next? A really super consistent way to give Reanimate. And I'm currently being offered that, and I'm turning it down for something that is good when I have that consistent reanimation. Let's focus on getting the reanimation first. Oh boy. Well, energy's never a problem again. First floor install. At the start of battle, apply the boiler room on the first floor. Gain 1 Ember when a unit dies. Yeah. I'm just gonna take that. It's so much energy. It really helps justify the Limbo Solace I've already taken. On deployment phase, draw a room card from your deck, reduce its cost to 0. Wow, Volatile Gauge. If I didn't have so many 0 costs in this deck, Volatile Gauge. I have 1 3 cost, an X cost, and then just a bunch of zeros that really don't want their cost changed. Sorry, Volatile Gauge. I will take Dante's Footstool. I do not have a room for it yet, but obviously it incentivizes us finding a rune as soon as possible. I would love to find something that either allows us to like gain or give or benefit from reanimation. I want to make reanimation much more of a sub-theme of this deck, please. Non-boss enemy units get multi-strike. Yeah, best of luck. You have to use that multi-strike against my spikes, though. You're allowed to have it, but only if you use it against my spikes, okay? Deal? Pinky promise? Pinky promise. Are you still fine with it? Twisted assisted. Eat 'em. Trample 'em. Valum. Heck, I'll actually summon the Firebrand. Oh man, they made me reanimate. I really hope I get my ability to reanimate you again soon. I really need to draw the Spike of the League and Tome of Horrors and Liquid Courage as soon as possible so that I can help this bottom floor as well. I mean, this top Firebrand line is doing okay at the moment, I guess. Tome of Horrors, but then you die this turn? Can I keep him alive? I don't know if I can keep him alive this turn. I have so much energy, though. Okay, let's eat a unit, gain energy back. Love to do that. Then, if I move you to the front line, I can keep the makeshift golem alive. This turn. It'll explode, and it'll reanimate at the end of this turn anyway, though. And because it's doing that anyway, I might as well give it Tome of Horrors. Welcome back. Thank you for all of the energy you've just given me. You're kidding me. Spike of the League is literally at the very bottom of the deck. Buddy. Buddy, how dare you do this to me? Well, I'm gonna just course you back to the front of the line. Gonna have to find a way to keep Baron Grail alive on that bottom line as well. That's gonna be a problem. Corruption, eh? Let's give you Divinity, and then an Erratic Assistant to eat, and then some Liquid Courage, and then 8 Reanimate. Now, I hope that's enough. It's not? Okay, just a little bit of lifesteal, and we get right over the barrier there. Perfect. Woo! I would hardly have believed it if that wasn't enough. Okay, I definitely need to cut some cards from this deck as well. I gotta hit the left side in the next area for the Merchant of Trinkets, with not as much money as I would like to have, but Friendly units gain lifesteal too. I don't dislike that. I think probably it's important to have a source of lifesteal for both units on the floor. Remove equipment from a unit, apply 30 additional damage. Realistically, with this many erratic assistants cycling through the deck, that's a totally appropriate piece of equipment. That's, in fact, good. Hell, I might even go so far as to say it's very good. I'll take Insatiable Hunger, though. Enchantment Trample, not relevant. Heroic Dive, Descend, then advance a friendly unit. Deal damage equal to the enemy, to the front enemy unit equal to 2 times this unit's health and armor. Imprison Zephyr, I could throw that on the top line and then just try and let them shift and do a bunch of stuff like that, but they realistically don't get to attack that much. I think this is probably a skip. At the end of the entire battle, friendly units at the front of the floor permanently gain 6 health. Love it. End of turn, unstable increases by 5. Almost entirely irrelevant. I'll reroll. Start of turn, fully healed champions. And when a friendly unit gains valor, it gains +1 stacks. Worth it. Start of turn, fully healed champions. I should do that. It's just some nice safety tech. In terms of duplication, a second copy of Faulty Body? No, a second copy of the big Spike of the League. I need another one of those cycling through the deck, so it's much more consistent that I get to keep my makeshift golem alive. Oh, just gonna chump block with 2 units on the top line. There's your Faulty Body. Hang on. I can get some Valor on the top line as well. We'll use just... Oh, not to move you. We move the other unit past you. Oops. There we go. Fetch a little Valor, because it's free, so why not? Spike of the League, 3 additional reanimate for the makeshift golem. Hell yeah. I'll reanimate him as many times as I need to. Now I've got the trample on Baron Grail as well. Top line, I will do some Valor swapping as well. But I should start with this order so that I can end with the Battle Dancer on the front. And then it makes sense for me here to chump block. Great. They ate a lot of my reanimate this turn. If I could get the equipment for on slay gain reanimate for the makeshift golem, it would slay with all of these spikes and gain more reanimate. It's so good. Granted, in the meantime, I'll just give you 12 more reanimate with the next spike of the league because I'm doing that effectively at slow speed. When you slay an enemy, you give me an energy, and I use that energy to give you reanimate with Spike of the League. So, kind of? If you don't really think about it, it kind of makes sense. Alright. Oh my god, Tome of Horrors. It'll just constantly explode while it's doing it as well. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's what they call a capital G, capital I. Good idea. Reorganize for a chump block, get some Valor on the top line, a little bit more revenge. Oh, this makeshift golem is an absolute monstrosity. Gotta show the old insatiable hunger down there. Baron Grail is finally trampling for a stupid amount of damage. Good to see. It's immaterial who I throw the melee weakness on at this point. Okay, good. We're back to a Spike the Reanimated. That's all I really care about. I just need to get back to that specific card. One Twisted back for our multi-attacker up here on the top floor. And then... eight more Reanimate. Got 10 more, 11 more Reanimate ready for it as well this turn. Let's see. Yeah, I'll do that. Obviously, I'll try and get some additional Valor stacking on this top line, try and make sure that I still have a second line that can compete if it needs to. Because I'd hate to end up, 2 rings later and realize, 2 units have gotten past me and now I will just die to them, because they get to the top and they have 1, 4, 7, 10 spikes. Unless they're a boss. It's only non-boss enemy units. Wait. Enemy units gain spikes through when they move? Why didn't the first enemy I fought, the wall guy, why didn't he have 10 spikes by the time he was up the top? Curious. Alas. Eat 'em! Big eat 'ems! Oh, it's so good. Hey! Now, what was I asking for? Electricity Chamber. 1 Ember, friendly units gain spikes 8 on Summon and Reanimate. It's also Double Edge Bearer, 1 Ember, Multi-Strike 1 on Grafts, Double Edged Arms, and then Tome of the Lost Path. Give light to a friendly unit. I'm taking the Electricity Chamber. I already told you I wanted that. Yeah, it's just additional draw, thanks. I got so much energy. The faster I draw to the spikes, the better off we'll be. Now, Worthy Sacrifice. If I gave Worthy Sacrifice and Fecundity to the same unit, I'd be able to get a bunch of copies of, a specific piece of equipment. Realistically, I just want to throw both of them on the makeshift golem and then just decide myself how I want to use that. Perfect. Merchant of Arms, Celestial Archive Money, Merchant of Steel, yeah, super care about the Merchant of Steel. Realistically, the makeshift golem doesn't care about the Merchant of Steel, but I do. A little bit. Battle Dancer, Firebrand. Yeah, I care about it a small amount. I care about the card removal, honestly, a lot. It hungers. Yeah, well, the first one gave 1 times their damage, the second one gave 2 times their damage, and the third one, of course, 541 times their damage. No, it is 3. We'll take it, hungers. Merchant of Steel is offering a large stone. Quicken plus 10, I do quite like that for Battle Dancer. I also quite like that for Firebrand. I'm going to give that to Firebrand as well as the 20 additional health. 14 additional... I mean, honestly, if I have to eat an Erratic Assistant, I would rather it have 14 more damage, so I get 42 more damage on Baron Grail. Unstable Vortex. Yeah, the Spear Stewards are just completely lacking. I draw them and I'm like, okay, I will play you because I can play you, but it does not matter that I did play you. Also gonna draw or remove a Shield Steward as well. Non-boss enemy units restore 150 health if they move up a floor. That's right, not when, if they move up a floor. So this unit's just in the deck. It's just waiting for me to draw another copy of it if I want it. Let me give you a faulty body. Perfect. Then Twisted Assisted. Eat him. Oh no! I didn't even think about it. We'll restart that battle. I overwrote the room. Can't do that. That's the boiler room. So I guess Electricity Chamber is for the top line now. Yikes. That's not what we wanted. It's fine, but I get the spikes anyway. It's just... wah. Then Tome of Horrors, so you just explode and kill everyone. Twisted back for the Trample and Rage. No, I'm losing my makeshift golem. Damn it. Kill it with its own ability. Now it's dying at the end of the turn. It has no reanimate. I can summon another one? This is weird. This is weird. I need to figure out how this battle is supposed to take place, because I can't afford stumbles like that. So, if I play Baron Makeshift Golem on the bottom line, I don't think I give it the additional reanimate on the first turn. Because it's also die at the end of every turn, which is pretty expensive. Let's give you Divinity. There's the Trample. I can blow you up to use Tome of Horrors at any time if I wanted to. Like, you have the Worthy Sacrifice. Upbeat Warbler top line, and then It's Alive to advance and gain Valor. Can I keep you alive by advancing Baron Grail? Yes, I can right now. I really like the idea of just throwing down a bunch of makeshift golems on other lines. Because realistically, they're just mana pumps if I absolutely need it. Thank you. Finally got the Spike of the League at the end of all of this. Get the makeshift golem at the front of the line so that it can die. Perfect. That'll do it. And now we're back on clean streak with constant draws of the Spike of the League. Realistically, I just do that. Hell, and then I can even kill my own unit so that I can play other cards if I wanted to. There we go. Summon and eat 'em up to just 333, so 666 damage total. Double strike. Double strike. Throw away a bunch of other units because I don't need them. And a little bit of Valor Dancing. Way too much energy here. So glad I have 2 X-Costs in the deck that can use that energy. I need to cut out even more cards so it's much more consistent that I draw them though, because it was terrifying not to have one on hand here. Other copies of Sister Hands, I can just throw them out on the field. No reason not to. Yeah. I'm gonna give it the Tome of Horrors so that it explodes as well. Does 50 damage every time it dies. Permanently at the front of the field as well, so it gained +6 maximum permanent HP. Combustion Suit. On strike, apply unstable 5 to enemy units. Honestly, it is really good. It's just not as good as being able to trample and rage at the same time. And that's my primary attacking unit. Granted, like, Combustion Suit, I'd throw it on the top floor, but I don't need it on the top floor as well. Retreat and apply Daze to a single unit. Good for preventing boss damage on the first turn. I think Faulty Body, a second copy of it, honestly. Makes a lot of sense to me. Shield of Wing. 2 Ember on Revenge, deal damage to the enemy equal to this unit's health. You don't actually have that healthy unit. Valor 3 and damage shield 1 to friendly units. Yeah, I have so much Ember that expensive spells don't look expensive to me. I want to go Merchant of Steel direction for the ability to dupe a card and remove 2 cards as well. Oh, yeah. Another Spike of the League is actually all this deck needs. That's pretty funny. Units get an additional upgrade slot, so I would get a third upgrade slot for, I guess, Firebrand or Twisted Assistant. Which, if it's additional damage, maybe I do want that on the Twisted Assistant. Let's remove 2 cards from the deck first. Let's get rid of the ones that we know aren't going anywhere. I do think I could get rid of one of, honestly, a couple of copies of the Erratic Assistants. The thing is, they do get rid of themselves over time from the deck. So I think I'm much better served by removing one of the cards that doesn't. Like Challenge, which I just don't play. Units get an extra upgrade slot is, like, possibly useful, but it's also very minor in impact, I think. I think I'm better served by re-rolling and just looking for much better things. Grant an ephemeral copy of this first spell you play each turn. Yeah, I would very much like to be able to play 2 copies of Faulty Body on the first turn, just because I have an ephemeral copy of it. When a friendly unit denies on the floor, Angels get Rage. Pretty good. Equip units gain armor 10. Very good. Clean sweep. Remove a card from the deck. Electricity Chamber has no deck cost, because you just draw it in the opening and then I play it. So I'll just let it stay. Again, I do think Spike, just confirming that I will have access to Spike at the League at the right time, I think is the most impactful action I can take. Alright, Seraph. I would not be surprised to kill you before you get to play. Makeshift Golem on the top line. Self-sacrifice yourself. Another Makeshift Golem. Self-sack. Another Makeshift Golem. Perfect. That's how the lines should be. Also self-sack, why don't you? So that I can get some additional energy for the Spike of the League that I'm going to play. $80 spikes down here on the bottom line. Love to see it. Oh, hang on. No, I use Worthy Sacrifice on the bottom line as well. Gotta use each of them. Summoning another. Perfect. And then we use the bottom line one as well. First body, second body. I feel like someone should probably have Divinity. There we go. Then 9. Seems like a much more reasonable number for you, friend. Have 9 reanimate. Just throwing mountains of flesh at the problem. Perfect unit to eat. Okay, now you do 160 spikes damage to anyone who dares to attack you. I also could have given him 100 instability so that it could explode on the enemy constantly, but the thing is that happens after combat. I might as well kill them before that step. That'll be my unit I eat next turn. Oh, no, I don't want to do that spell. We'll use a bunch of Lazarus spikes on Makeshift Golem. I mean, hell, I could sacrifice you as well. Actually, I gotta remember that. I gotta remember. That's literally the thing that my deck does. So, first off, Erratic Assistant, then I'll gain 3 times that damage. New Assistant, give it more damage so I can gain more of that more damage later. Then, you. All extinguish. Big explodes. Thank you kindly. Now I have 20 another explode. Get him. There we go. 27 energy to give 28 reanimate here. And then I can give 2 more reanimate, which I'll give 1 to each of you so that you're ready to explode again for me in the future. Thank you kindly. Yeah, it's faring pretty well. Yum. Should I pretend that anything else matters? Or should I just spike my unit until the game ends? Because I truly just don't see any of y'all getting past him. Eat another unit as well. This is all now in anticipation of... Thank you both kindly for giving me the ability to give 20 energy down to the bottom line. Look, I could blow you up and do that again, but I really, truly don't need to. I hope I have demonstrated that more than enough by now. Let's go Firebrand. Swap. 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 Fine. It still dies? That's okay. Just come down to the bottom line, you goddamn coward! What's that, 60 reanimate on the Makeshift Golem? I think it will probably survive. I think it might just get there. He's also doing a whole mess of damage to Seraph Eternus this turn. Down to only, less than 500 health left. Top floor, you don't have enough damage to do. You're getting a lot closer than I thought you would have. I'll say that. Big explosions, and then I'll get even more reanimations down. Come down and meet your doom, Seraph. I've got all of these reanimates, and you're not even gonna let me use them all, because unfortunately Baron Grail is too dummy thick with damage. Alas. If you win the game, sometimes you just gotta agree and take it rather than try and find something nuttier to do. Got him. To be fair, I think this was plenty nutty. Just throwing mountains and mountains and mountains and mountains at the enemy. Wait, so you had many lives, worthy sacrifice, and fecundity. Cool, so we did put all three from the same event on the same unit. Turns out that's very powerful. Just as powerful as it would have been in Inscryption. Oh, right, both of these lands had already reached level 10, so we're not being shown the thing that we've unlocked because we didn't unlock anything. Except for a little more story from the Tipsy Imp.
Finally, some time away from my creations. Bringing dead souls to life seemed like a brilliant idea, but with so many of them, I have no time to myself anymore. Wait, your test subjects are actually surviving? Mine rarely make it past the first experiment. Reggie, do you not see something special that you have? What? Bothersome creations? Constant nuances? Nuisances, rather, that never learn? No! A loyal workforce! A whole family of creations ready to do your bidding. Appreciate what you have! Take advantage of it! For example, why don't you have one of them make us a drink? An intriguing idea. Hugo!
Yes, master.
Get me a slime ball on the rocks, and make my friend a fireball gin as well.
Right away, master.
See? He was practically stumbling over himself just to get your nod of approval. Now imagine, with the workforce you have, you won't ever have to lift a finger. You might be onto something.
Master Areki.
Hang on. That's obviously the wrong voice. What was your voice again? I can't remember her voice.
Master Areki. Sorry to interrupt, but we have a problem. There are lots of patients at the clinic right now, and they're all waiting for treatment.
Also, if you're asking about dental issues, I guess I think it is all we do here.
You know what? Why don't you two run my clinic for me? I've taught you well, haven't I? Bring the other assistants with you as well. In fact, take them all off my hands.
Really? I mean, if you say so. I've always wanted to run my own practice.
We won't let you down, Master. I can't believe that worked. Now I can finally go on vacation.
And you'll return to a burned down clinic. For the moment, though, my name has been Rhapsody, the name of the game. This has been Monster Train 2. Top left is a series playlist for all my content of the game, past, present, future, YouTube recommendation. Down below, streaming past. Other names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. And above the tank tier, and a special thanks in this episode to Matthew. Hopefully you'll have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.